Hi all, welcome to Geneso IT Trainings. My name is Sagar. In this video, we'll be looking at Linux file system. Before I do it, I would request everybody to subscribe my channel. Thank you. So in this video, we'll be discussing about Linux file system. So whenever we are talking about a Linux file system has got a specific structure. It has got a specific hierarchy of the files, and it has got a specific structure of the directories in all distributions of the Linux, and this file system remains constant for whichever Linux distribution we take it. Either it is Debian, either it is Red Hat, or any Linux file system we are talking about, it remains constant. In order to make it simple, if I try to make it relate to Windows operating system, I'm sure we are all familiar using the Windows operating system. So let me open my desktop and open my computer, and inside the my computer you'll be able to see in the Windows you have a specific directory structure that is being available. Usually, or in general, in the Windows operating system you'll be able to identify C drive and E drive, F drive and G drive. So this is how we partition all the drives, and usually in general we'll always try to store all the system related information in the C drive. So by looking at this itself, you should be able to understand Windows has got a specific directory structure. In the sense, we are trying to divide them specifically into a C drive, D drive, E drive, F, G according to our needs. And most of the times we have system files inside the C directory. So these are all operating system files that are being available. And in the same way, in Linux, we have a specific file system and specific directory structure is available. So let me make you understand how it starts, how it looks like actually. So if I move to my next slide, see, look at this. This is a Linux file system, how it looks like. Any Linux operating system, it always starts with root. A root is nothing but a first directory, or it is nothing but the first folder that we have inside the Linux. So if you're able to observe here, this is nothing but a root. Let me put it in the paint so that I can make it much more clear in explaining things. So let's take, the Linux file system. Always you got to remember your Linux file system starts with a root. So this is the first directory we have it, and it is represented as a /. So this is nothing but a root. I'm trying to rewrite it once again here. This is nothing but a /, and if I take the text, I'll be able to show you clearly. Okay, this is a /. So this is the first directory that we have it, and this is the first file system. In any Linux operating system you'll be able to find it. So in the same way how we have C drive, D drive, here in Linux we have the root directory. This is the root directory. This is called as root. So under this root you have subdirectories. Under this root we have subdirectories. Subdirectories like /home, and this slash represents the root directory. And we have /etc, and we have /bin, we have /dev, we have /var, and we have /mnt, so on. But you need to understand one thing. Initially, the first directory in Linux starts with root, and after that, under this root, you'll be having subdirectories called as home, etc, bin, dev, var, mnt. So multiple directories will be available. So this is what here in this particular diagram you should be able to understand. The first directory is nothing but a root. It is nothing but it's a /, and this is a directory. Under this directory, you have a bin directory, you have a boot directory, you have dev directory, you have etc, home, and so on. So these are all the directories. These are all common for every Linux operating system. It starts with root and followed by subdirectories of all these names. Along with this, under each subdirectory there might be multiple directories or the files. Under each directory there might be multiple directories or files which are related to the Linux operating system or a user can define his or her own directory or a file. In the same way, if I open my Windows operating system, if we directly go into the C drive, you'll be able to see so many files, which are related to the Windows operating system. All these program files and downloads and the drivers and different files and folders will be available. In the same way, Linux operating system, any distribution, any flavor of the Linux will start with the root. Under the root, we have multiple directories. Under these directories, we might be having multiple files that are going to be available. So this is what a basic understanding of the Linux file system is all about. In the further videos, I'll try to show it to you practically how it looks like and what exactly it is all about. In the next video, I'll try to show it to you. Before that, let us try to understand, the importance of some of the directories under the root. So let me look at the next slide. See, if you're able to look at this, whenever you see /root under this particular root directory, you have a subdirectory called as root. So whenever you see here /, it is representing the first directory, root, and under this we have another directory name called as root. So this is nothing but a root user home directory. In the previous video, we have logged into the server and we have become a super user. That's nothing but a root. And that user, every user will have a home directory. Every user will have a home directory. So this /root is nothing but a home directory for the root user. So whatever files or directories we are trying to create under the root user, you can store it here if it is required. And this is entirely different as the root. So this root is different, and / and root directory is entirely different. And in the same way, under the root directory /, we have another directory called as etc. And this particular directory usually holds the configuration files. Usually in etc, you'll be finding system configuration files. Suppose imagine one of the system configuration files that we have in etc is etc sysconfig network scripts, and we have etc ssh_config. So these are all configuration files we have inside the etc directory. And if you look at /bin here, the third one, and this is nothing but a binaries. And what exactly these binaries are? In the previous video, I explained to you some of the commands. If you remember the ls command that I explained it to you, that command would be available inside this binary folder. So in order to really show it to you, I have to open my Linux server. Let me do it. Let me log in to my Linux server. Let me open the AWS console. Okay, we'll click on here, sign into the console. We'll be having all commands. Any command that you take it will be available in the /bin folder. You just type the characters that are being available here. And type the password. Let me go to the region Mumbai, because that's where we have launched our Linux server. And click on the EC2 section, which is appearing right away on the screen here, and open the instances. Okay, I'll start the instance. So after some time, the instance state will become running. So before that, let me come here, open my Mobaxterm, and let me refresh it. Yeah, it's still opening. We open Mobaxterm and SSH. I'll specify the username, Ubuntu, one settings, private key. Here we'll be providing the IP address, public IP address. I'll take the public IP. Click on OK. So look at this. We have successfully logged into the Linux server, and here we will be able to practically see how Linux file system looks like. So what did I say? I said the first directory inside the Linux is root. The first directory inside the Linux is /. So let me go to the first directory, cd and /. cd stands for changing the directory. So if you would like to change from one directory to another directory, you'll be using this command cd. In the next video, I'll be explaining this command again. And now let's see, cd space / and enter. And you know how to list all the files and directories under this particular root. See, observe this. Right now, I'm inside this root directory. So that is what it is going to be visible here, / and look at ls. See, the moment I type ls, you'll be able to see all these directories: bin, dev, home, etc, boot, mnt, media, opt. All these directories will be visible. So this is the first directory, and under this you have all these subdirectories. And as we are discussing about a bin, we have everyday user commands, and we have seen some of the commands like ls, and where exactly this ls is available. That's what is more important. It is available inside cd / see, how do we navigate? Cd is nothing but changing the directory, and /, and this is nothing but a root. Under this directory we have a bin, and enter, and look at ls. See, look at ls. We have so many commands that are being available. If I scroll up, and you will be able to see some of the commands here. We have used one of the commands called as pwd. Let's see, look at this. We have this command available. So these are nothing but binaries. All binaries are nothing but the commands that are available. Every single command will be available here. And we have even used one of the commands in my previous video, which is nothing but a date. Let's look at it. See, look at this. We have the date here. And ls command. See, every command will be available here. ls and jkl. Yeah, look at this, ls command. So all these commands, regularly used commands, are available inside the bin directory. And apart from this, we have one more directory called as /opt. Most of the optional applications or the softwares that you would like to download, most of the times you can download them inside this particular directory. And apart from this, we have /lib. Lib is nothing but all the library files will be available here. Let's assume that we have a command inside the bin, and in order to make this ls command functionality work properly, that functionality would be written in C programming language inside the lib directory. So this is what the usage of the /lib directory. And we have /tmp. It's nothing but a folder where you can store all the temporary files. And we have /home, and /home is nothing but, it's nothing but a directory where all the user information is going to get stored. So in a simple way, every user will have their own directory in the operating system. Every user will have a directory. Their own directory will be available for the user. So if I look into the Windows also, let's open this Windows. If I go to my computer, I'll open C drive, and inside this you have the users, and under this user, under this I have my name as the directory. See, look at this. Let me open it here. I hope you're able to see here my name. This is the user in the Windows. This user has a specific directory here. In the same way, whatever user is available inside Linux operating system, every user will have a directory under /home directory. And now we have one more directory, which is /var, and inside /var we'll be having system logs or application logs. Most of the times your application logs are going to get stored inside this particular directory. This will help you in troubleshooting. If you have some issues with the operating system or with some of the commands, you can always go ahead and check the logs and identify or troubleshoot them. And /mnt is a directory where you can mount the external files or external devices like CD-ROM or hard disk. You can attach them, and you can see that mounting point available here. You can mount it to this. You can manually mount it, and you can work on it. So this is how a Linux file system or a directory structure looks like. And practically we will be able to see, you can see it here, cd / that's a starting directory, and under this ls you have all these subdirectories and the files or the folders that are available. And yeah, this is the file system or directory structure, how it looks like inside the Linux. It is all same for every distribution of the Linux. For any flavor of the Linux you take it, this is how your directory structure starts with. It starts with the / and after that you will be having multiple directories and you'll be storing the information. So look at this home. So if I have to go into this, I'll simply type cd change directory / and home and enter. Look at ls. I have the Ubuntu as the username. For this Ubuntu user, I have the directory called as Ubuntu. For this user, this is the home directory. So let me log into it. cd space Ubuntu. The moment I log into cd space Ubuntu, this users, I am right now inside this user's home directory. Whenever you are inside this user's home directory, you will be able to see this tilde symbol. So look at this tilde symbol appearing here. So this represents we are currently inside this user's home directory, pwd. Look at this, currently inside this user's home directory. So this is how you will be able to understand. By looking at this, now you should be able to understand the directory structure. So initially it's a root, this is a first directory. Under this there is a directory called as home, and under this directory you have Ubuntu as one more directory. And under this, if I look at ls, we don't have any files available. In the further videos I'll teach you how to create files, how to navigate from one directory to another directory. So this is all about the Linux file system, how it looks like, and some of the important directories I have explained. So please go through this video if you're to understand how Linux file system looks like. So that's all for this video. Thank you so much. Thanks for listening, and I would request everybody to subscribe my channel. Thank you.